From Vermont Public, this is The Frequency. I'm Mitch Wertlieb. It's Thursday, August 7th, and here are today's headlines. The town of Berlin has cut the ribbon on 30 new affordable housing units. The community is called Fox Run and includes affordable and market rate units. In a press release, officials behind the $15 million project say it's the first of its kind in the town in more than a decade. A housing assessment from last year highlights the need for similar projects. It found Vermont needs to create upwards of 24,000 year-round homes over the next 5 years to help get the market healthy. Vermont remains on an updated list of, quote, sanctuary jurisdictions the U.S. Justice Department recently published. The department claims Vermont and 12 other states have laws and regulations that prevent the enforcement of federal immigration laws. The list also names 4 counties and 18 cities. Federal officials said in a Tuesday release that it would work hard to eliminate these policies and bring litigation against the municipalities on the list. President Trump signed an executive order in April that required a list of sanctuary jurisdictions be made. The administration previously said it would pull federal funding from identified municipalities if they didn't comply. Vermont and several of the state's cities were on the department's original list in late May, a list that was quickly taken down after bipartisan confusion regarding why certain municipalities were named. No Vermont cities were included in this updated list. A growing group of locals is trying to visit every one of Vermont's towns, villages, and cities. They call themselves the 251 Club, even though Vermont's municipalities technically add up to 252. George Hooker of Rutland City is the board's president, and yesterday on Vermont Edition, he said one of the club's most famous members only needs to visit one more town.
And this is former Governor Jim Douglas, who refuses to go to the last one, which in his case is Lewis, because he doesn't want the journey to be over. He wants the journey to continue.
Hooker extended an open invite to the 251 Club's annual meeting. That will be in Montpelier on Sunday, September 28th. And by the way, here's a fun fact you can keep ready for your next game of Vermont Trivial Pursuit. Lewis, which is in Essex County, has a population of 0. New Hampshire has become the first state in New England to ban all forms of transgender health care for minors. New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte says the 2 bills she signed late last week will protect children from medical decisions with possible lifelong consequences. Rose Emmerich has a transgender daughter and lobbied against the bills.
I'm just really sad for all of our trans youth here in New Hampshire, and just for New Hampshire in general. This isn't the New Hampshire that I love.
The ban on doctors providing hormone therapy and other trans health care takes effect in January. Children or teens receiving treatment before then will be allowed to continue. Coming up, programs for summer school in Vermont got a boost from COVID relief money, but now those funds have dried up. As a result, many school districts are being forced to use a piecemeal approach to keep summer programs going. And Vermont Public's Howard Weiss-Tisman has the story on how that's working, or in some cases isn't. That's after this. There was a big bump in summer school programming after the pandemic. A lot of school districts used COVID relief money to start summer programs, trying to make up for some of the lost educational time students missed when schools went to remote learning. But that money is now gone, and across Vermont, some school districts are piecing together their summer programs, while others have been forced to cancel. Vermont Public's Howard Weiss-Tisman has more.
Summer school used to be where a student had to go after failing a class. It wasn't fun, and it wasn't a place a kid wanted to be in the summer. But if you visit a summer school program in Vermont these days, the scene will likely look and sound very different. There's an intense game of revenge knockout happening on the basketball court at the West River Education District summer program in Townsend. There are some academics sprinkled into the schedule here, but it's mostly playtime, swimming, and field trips. Cooper Eldridge, who's 11, says this kind of summer school has been working for him.
Well, when I don't get to see my friends for a while, it gets sad and I get bored.
Summer program director Jamie Danzero says the district learned a lot about the importance of play and social interaction in the years following the pandemic, when kids were isolated from their peers. And so summer school looks a lot like summer camp, which Danzero says is a good thing.
Students still need it. They need this regardless, whether it's post-COVID or because of COVID. We still need to do strong social, emotional building with our students in order for them to be successful, not only just in after school, but also in the classroom as well.
The West River District had 4 weeks of free programming last year when they were using up the last of their COVID relief funds. This year, they cobbled together 3 weeks. Danzero says they were able to once again offer it free to families thanks to a grant the state set up a few years ago, using proceeds from the cannabis sales tax. This year, the fund provided about $10 million to after-school and summer programs, including here in the West River Valley. But overall, the fund was only able to supply about half of what districts asked for.
Demand always outstrips supply in this area. It always has and probably always will.
Emmanuel Betts is with the Agency of Education, and he says the federal COVID relief money encouraged districts to offer services after the school year. And across the state, there was a big jump in the number of summer programs available to families.
One of the allowable uses of those pandemic-era funds was for after school and summer. So there definitely was a large uptick in using those funds. We don't know how much, but certainly a lot. So that was something that just happened, that didn't exist previously.
In the Grand Isle Supervisory Union, Superintendent Lisa Rude said the district had to cancel its summer program this year after failing to find grants to pay for the programs. Rude said the district's COVID money ran out just as communities were facing unprecedented tax spikes due to high education costs. And she said when the budget needed to be trimmed, summer programming was one of the first things to go.
When the pandemic happened, we had access to those federal funds. So now you've got 4 years where things have been paid for, and they can't absorb it. The local budgets can't absorb an after-school program or a summer program within their budget.
Rude said there was some disappointment among parents and staff when news went out that the summer program would not happen this year. She said the expectations around what a school district can provide families is changing at a time when there are fewer local dollars available for services and when the federal government is pulling back its support. And she isn't sure how her district will meet those challenges next summer. For Vermont Public, I'm Howard Weiss Tisman.
Thanks for listening to The Frequency today. We had additional reporting from Mary Engish, Adia Golston, Mikhail Lafrac, and the New England News Collaborative. Today's episode was edited by Stephanie Colombini, and our music is by Blue Dot Sessions. I'm Mitch Wertlieb. Talk to you tomorrow.
These days, there's so much news, it can be hard to keep up with what it all means for you, your family, and your community. The Consider This podcast from NPR features our award-winning journalism. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a news story and provide the context and analysis that helps you make sense of the news. We get behind the headlines. We get to the truth. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.